Welcome to Radio Essence. My name is Susanne Lindberg and I'm recording from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I've called this program my Christmas present to you, as I want to share, let's say, the most important thing, or the one of the most important thing I have achieved after 20 years work on the inside. As we all stand at a different point in life, for some, I might be able to really touch and someone may be able to use what I'm telling. For some of you, it might just be a sentence that you can connect with and use. And of course, there are those that this story doesn't tell anything. I'm on the edge of what I want to talk about. Because if you're here present, there are certain things I can demonstrate so easily, so you experience it yourself and you know it. You know what I'm talking about. But try to tell it in words, it doesn't make so much sense often. So, but this time I will try to give you a story. I will try to give you images. So maybe you're able to place it some way or the other. So I will start with a story. And I think, yes, I want to start to tell about I really have problems with accepting teachers. They really have to be good. I've been teaching since I was 17 and been teaching a lot. And wherever I've been in life, when I've been teaching, I really been me. I've told about before, like, for sure, psychology, it can't tell you what you are and what you are made, what you are programmed, influence, life has made you to be. As I know, for example, the time in Sweden, I lived what I was made or programmed, knowing somewhere who I was, but not being able to live that part. And in the Netherlands, there has been a gradual work just peeling off of that thing that didn't belong. But as I said, when I've been teaching, whenever in life I have been able to be me, so I really loved it. And then we have this thing with spiritual. I didn't tell about my early years in Amsterdam. It was this program I called Mr. X. And if you have patience to listen to this 1.5 hour, it's when you start to think, this is crazy, it gets crazier and crazier. And it's something I do have experienced. But as I said there, I got really a headache being among these new age people, and there's a lot, of course, there's a lot of good things going on there, but I saw things as well as that I just didn't like. One thing, I got headache and I started my salsa dancing 20 years ago, and it was like, where is the floor? Where is the ground? Getting down to earth. But as well, I did see these people who were living a spiritual life and developing the spiritual part, or walking the spiritual path. I saw those who just develop one part and then the rubbish being behind, and that works as an anchor. People go in circles, and I don't tell everyone is like that, but I saw that being in those circles. I remember I was giving a reading to a medium. It was at a friend's place, and I mean, she was older than me, and being a medium, and I was giving her a reading. What I had, she had a lot of pain in her body, and the thing I had to tell her, you have to feel the pain, because it was like a body was just screaming for her. But because she had this pain, it was much more pleasant to be among these sources up there somewhere than being in her body, and that made the body even more scream for attention. She was just not present, and the only way out, to me, I don't think she, I mean, I don't know what she did with that information. It was the only time I met her. But just have to tell her, you have to feel the pain. And to me, it is too abstract, a lot of the work going on there. And I'm sure many of you would say that what I'm doing is abstract. At least it is on a daily fucking level, like I like to name it. There, I'm working. Yeah, that's a hard part that is hard to explain on this radio station. So, when a friend of mine asked me to go to kind of, yeah, it's hard to tell what to name him, but let's say a spiritual teacher, I wasn't so keen, but this was 16 years ago, a little bit more. It was just at a moment when I was just desperate, because I had to move. The place where I've been living since I came to Amsterdam, it was closing down. And actually, I think at the moment when I went there, I should have moved already. So I was thinking about, okay, I will end up on the street or whatever. I was quite desperate. I ended up there, and when I was sitting in the audience, I talked to him directly. I sometimes get visions. One vision I got talking to him was he handed me a key. And actually, I had this house where I'm living. I had it maybe within a week, maybe two. And another thing, this is the interesting one, is I felt my eyes turning around. So instead of looking outside, he was suddenly looking inside. If you check your experience of yourself, I suppose it is the same as the one I had before this experience. You experience your body from what you can touch, what you can see. And the inside you experience if there's something wrong, if there's pain somewhere or something else. But your experience of yourself is actually more the outside. And I had been working on myself, but actually then finding out that I had been doing that, like I worked on myself as me, looking at myself in a mirror, or looking myself, this me being something I experience with my eyes. And let's say, being able to experience you directly from the inside, first of all you get confronted with why it's difficult for us to experience the inside or ourselves from being, let's say, home. Because at the same time as I got my house, I got home. I got a home, but as well, physically in my body, I got home. If you haven't had the experience, it's hard to place it. I know that. And being there as well, I got kind of with this spiritual teacher. He had been a student of a guru somewhere in India, and be told to travel the world and teach people about the truth. And I had a kind of God experience there as well. I think that was my first one. So the place inside of yourself, there's no duality. It's everything and it's nothing. Time is not of interest. There's no future or past. There is nothing here and there. It's just everything and nothing. Several times I experienced that. Okay, now I know. Let's go on. For me, it's about the the peeling off everything that doesn't belong to me. That is not who I am. And if I peel so much, so I actually come to this core that is very deep inside. Unless it's really inside everyone. If I get there one day, then okay, I'm one with that. But at this moment, I just want to live life according to who I am. My qualities, my capacity. This person, he comes from New Zealand. On my Facebook, I have an abonnement, Isaac Shapiro. He travels the world all the time, sitting every evening somewhere on the earth. Mostly it's in, as far as I know, Germany, once a year in the Netherlands, US, Australia, maybe New Zealand. There's a schedule somewhere, and yes, I have accepted him as, let's say, a teacher, because he actually speaks like I do. Yeah, I've heard him say exactly the same things as I do, like, check it for yourself, you don't need to believe me. There's nothing kind of holy or special, it's just okay, let's check the truth. And if you go there, I mean, it's a very special energy, and you feel it stronger and stronger the closer you get. And if you're sitting on the stage, you always experience something very, very strong. After my education, that stopped more than 18 years ago, I have been working on my own. People are always mirrors towards something guiding, but once a year, it's like getting a kick in the butt. Going to someone who do know to touch something, let's say shake the core, just once a year. The last couple of years I haven't gone there, but at the same time he is in the Netherlands. It's like everything intensifies, and it always reveals something during that period, so I have a feeling I'm still connected with him. It's to me not so important, and if I need a kick in the butt, then okay, I will go there. Otherwise, I used to go there maybe a couple of hours once a year, so I'm not so hooked on it. But I want to tell about once when I was there, and this was somewhere in the beginning, I don't know, so several years ago. And I was on stage, talking to him and very frustrated, saying, I want this on a daily fucking level. vocabulary you're not supposed to use on radio. There's kind of strange self censorship going on. But that is what I said, and yeah, he's a person who could take that stuff, I think. But what made me so frustrated was you have this amazing experience being there, and then you go home, and there you get stuck in the shit, and all the same going on. I didn't like that difference. It's also like when you choose a spiritual path in life, you at the same time is saying there's something that is not spiritual. What I want to do is to grow as a human being and to learn. I can't imagine anything that we face in life from which you can't grow and develop and learn. I don't think I really got an answer there on this stage, but I know that the last couple of years I was present there. I start to kind of get an idea of a connection. But it was so vague, so I wasn't even able to put it into words. As soon as I could, after I had moved, I wanted to start my practice for a professional musician in a professional manner. But I got stuck in bureaucracy, and very serious stuck. There was not one person who didn't do a mistake. There was not one thing I didn't have to fight for, and even in court, to get my gelijk krijgen, to get it approved or get a yes. So I really get into problems, and the more I started to try to solve these problems that I hadn't created myself, the more I got in problems, and the more I try to make those responsible to do a kind of effort to put things right, the more I get into problems. I can tell you, I'm stubborn. I'm very, very stubborn, or at least I was. I can't say about now. Let's say I have to bang the head against the wall many, many times before I give up. And I had to give up many, many times before I really gave up. Because if you get into problems, everything becomes you have to, you ought to, you should. Or yeah, really, you have to. Everything you want to do becomes I have to do. And there is willpower, but there is no have to power, should power, ought to power. No, those things really suck all your energy. But there was no way around. And I have to give up, and I have to give up, and every little thing became I have to. And as well as I'm very aware of, it doesn't work. I remember there was a time when I was just laying in bed. I just couldn't do anything. I knew every movement I was doing was out of a despair or push or whatever. And there was a huge mountain of dishes in my kitchen. And there again I was. I have to. I ought to. I should. Of course I want to, but it was like, no, I can't make that movement. It's so heavy. So I gave up, and I just lay there maybe half an hour more, and suddenly there came a movement, and the dishes was done like whoop, gone. It was like finding another quality of movement. And that was my first real conscious feeling of different qualities of movement. Slowly, through the years, this movement has grown stronger and stronger, and more. So not only the dishes. I have made many mistakes on my path, and then you have to take a step back and try again. But let's say that my house is not very extremely clean, but it's as well not a big mess. So even the boring things just gets done. 1 year ago, I did notice. It was like I couldn't do anything about it, but I noticed a kind of difference in time. Like, I wanted to pet my cat, and there was a thought, and then I petted the cat. So a time difference in impulse and action, and there being a thought in between. I know in January there was beginning of this year, there was a severe storm here, and I had a big rhododendron in a big pot outside in my garden. And that had fallen. One day I thought, okay, I have to put it up. It died this summer, it was so beautiful. But when trying to get it straight up, I mean, it's big, I couldn't get to it, I knew I did stupid things. So later, ischias. I had such a severe pain, so I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't lay down, I couldn't move. Oh, it was so painful. And when you're in such a pain, you're present in every movement you make. You can't just do. You are really present all the time. I did one visit to the chiropractor, and slowly it disappeared. When I really had problems, I was a severe case, and I went to a very good chiropractor in Stockholm, and he got so frustrated. He had me coming twice a week, and still no results. So at that time it took me 10 years to get out of that kind of things. But now one visit, and after I noticed I wasn't able to think 5 seconds in advance what I was going to do. It was strange. It was like I only could go with this movement. I couldn't do anything else. My mind was out. So even if I didn't like that ischias nerve, it was terrible. I really got to now. If you look at time, you have the past and the future, but you have the now. And the funny thing with now, I'm sure, if we measure it, should try to measure it, it's so short that it is not to measure. It's endlessly short. And as well as now is eternal, in the sense of there a first now? Is there a last now? Or isn't this now something that actually, on this level we are living, now is the closest we can come to experience eternity? But every thought we have gets us out of now. Because the thinking can't grab now. When we're thinking now, we're meaning a couple of hours, a couple of minutes, maybe a couple of seconds. But the real now, we can't catch with the thought. We always end up in the past or in the future, even if it is a couple of seconds. I did have a very busy head, and of course there are methods in meditation or ways to empty your head from thoughts. To me it is it's a learning, it's a programming to change or get rid of a previous programming learning. I have never done that. I haven't managed to use techniques in that sense. It's I have found that through the work I've done, thought has slowed down. So it's more about working on the level of reasons for a very busy head. And it's a very interesting relationship between emotions and thinking. So somewhere I do not need to think if I don't want to. Of course the thoughts are going in my head, but if I want to sit with an empty head, it's very easy for me. So I start to come to the thing that I actually wanted to name this video. Here and now. But because I know that it's one of these things where interpretation of the words are vague. So if I would call it here and now, you wouldn't have got the message in the same way, I think. We all know that the only place to live is here and now. But my interpretation of here is actually that I'm now something that gets stronger and stronger through the years. I'm really present. On a good day, I kind of feel this boiling in the spine, it feels just fine. Because physically, the spine is the center of the body. All the nerves comes from the spine. So the energy center is the spine. But really, to feel your presence in the spine and the energy is there, it's more than the physical energy. It's like finding your balance. And then the now. The being, the presence, is something I have built up during years, but let's say now is a new thing. Now has to do with time. So if this being is one part, and now I have the time, now is movement. I know I'm just in the beginning, and I have had a long time ago, I have had twice a kind of taste of it, how it could be. It has happened many times that I may taste something and then I have to do the work to get there, and that's step by step. But it was twice. I remember one time clearly, and it was like suddenly life was just like a dance. I didn't need more than 4 or 5 hours sleep a night, no, I was fine. And you dance through life like, oh, yeah, by coincidence this, and you meet that, and this happens, and it was amazing. It was like the only thing I needed to do was to keep my balance, because it was swinging. Now I see this dance, but it's a very, very slow dance at this moment. But as my focus has been on being, building up to doing, I know that first speed up the tempo, and then I have 20 years with the capacity of dancing through life. In here and now, every movement is from who you are. I'm very grateful for one thing, and that is that I can't remember when, but I think that one of my earliest achievements was my speaking. That is as well as doing. But I remember as a child, you was in a situation, and then hours later you thought, oh, why didn't I say that? Why couldn't I have told that, and then this could have happened, and so on. It was such a suffering. But some way, I don't know how, and I can't remember when even, my words has been coming from my being. This radio station, it has to kind of I have to get used to it. But to talk in this way, I'm sure I can improve still. And if I look back now, this is my 8th time. The 4 first times, I mean, there is good information there, but especially my practice. But it does sound like I'm reading from a book or something, and I just can't talk naturally. And I think that has got, at least that has got better. But now I start to be at the point where I really hope to be able to, every movement coming from my qualities, my capacity, from my being, just to experience what will manifestate itself. Of course, I will have confrontation on the way. It's a part of. I think it will be part of increasing the tempo of this dance. Confrontations and yeah, bumps on the way. As this being called my Christmas present to you, I can't really share the path. I think there are very few out there who need to do the kind of work I've done. But I hope can share the importance of focus on yourself. And if you want to improve things in your life, that is a path. Maybe I have said something that can function like a key. Or if you have questions, please, my email address is on my YouTube page. This is about what it is to work on yourself. If you really want to get to your own core, who you are. But everyone's path is different. My path at this moment is closing down. I will take a couple of weeks vacation. I will close my off from the world. With a few exceptions, I will close off completely. So I will not be on Facebook or make any videos or anything. I'm really tired. I feel today to talk today. I feel like there is. I'm tired. I like a certain power in my voice today, but I hope still the message goes through. I will check my emails, and if I see something that can't wait, I will deal with it. What I haven't been good at, well, I'm doing my best, but maybe it could be better, is spreading this thing around. So those people who want to listen to this, that they find it. Especially my Dutch friends, if you can help me spread around that last video about my courses, I would be so happy. So with this, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Do see that among all celebration that you take some time for yourself, to ask yourself the questions you need to ask. I will be back with new energy next year. Until then.